All right, we're recording. So call tonight, we are talking about inviting for the coaching opportunity. Somebody kickstart it on like what kind of information you want, and we'll just dive right in. Okay, who's the first person who typed in coaching invite opportunity for the call tonight?
Me.
All right, then you start.
I'd seen some comments on both Danielle's, I think mainly Danielle's group about it, about how to make posts on Facebook. What do you do when you PM people about the coaching opportunity? And also, how do you convert people from being a discount coach to a business builder, or even a hobby coach, or talk to them about building the business?
Okay. Well, let's start with that. Let's start with how to convert a discount coach to a business builder. That's all going to depend on them and their goals. If they signed on strictly for the discount and really have no desire to build the business, then there's really nothing you can do to convert them other than letting them know the opportunity that they have. But there again, if they don't want it and they're not ready for it, there's really not going to be a whole lot you can say. I mean, that's if they really just want their discount, then that's really just going to be it. But I would periodically check back in with them, say, hey, I know you're still here for the discount, and I'm glad you're enjoying the product, yada yada. I do want to share with you some information about the business opportunity that you have as a coach. It's something that can increase your income, free up time, list off what it is that the benefits of that we get from building a business. And if they still say that they're not interested, then me personally, I'd just be like, okay, I wanted you to know your options.
I made a coaching post on my Facebook the other day, and 2 of my discount coaches approached me. So I think it's just about them seeing it a lot. I mean, they haven't signed yet, but they're at least thinking about it. So I find that post was really helpful. I do those like once a month, and they always seem to get good feedback.
Good. And then them being in the coaching group, that's another way to bring it up. I had all my discount coaches and introduced them into the coaching group because they may see something that we post in there that sparks their interest. And then you can even go to them and say, I don't know if you ever see any of the stuff that we post in the coaching group, but if you do, or, have you seen anything that sparked your interest, or is there any questions I can answer for you? Whatever. It's like that. Just checking in with them, seeing what they want. Then the other thing was making coach invite posts on your Facebook. I feel for me, the best way to do that is to word it as if you were having a conversation one-on-one with someone. Best the old you. The new you who loves Beachbody and is 100% on board and believes in it and has results from it and yada, yada. Speak to that old person who knew nothing about Beachbody but wanted change, needed change, was looking for change, didn't realize you were looking for change, but was subconsciously looking for change. Speak to that old you. Say to that person, say what you would say to that person to get them on board with you. Because that's who you want, right? You're speaking to your niche market. Those are the people that you're trying to bring in. So if you write it up as a conversation to the old you, then it's going to come across genuine, personal, and not salesy. Does that make sense? Does anybody have anything they want to tack onto that?
You said something a couple calls ago, and this is more like about challenge pack sales, but it also goes with this, is when you care more about the sale, you don't sound authentic, but when you care more about the person, And that's what I was like, I have to hit SC5. I need this person to hit that. I need that person to hit that, or I need to hit 10, or I need to hit this. I noticed I got into, more of, I felt I was being pushy. And now that I'm like, okay, well, I'm at 4. My goal last Friday was 5 and I'm not there. I'm like, oh, well, I'll get to where I get this month. And I'm going to more focus on helping people.
Mm-hmm. Do you find that your points are more manifesting themselves when you're focusing more on the person and not the point?
Yeah, my conversations are flowing better. And it's not that I didn't care before. I've always cared about the person, but
the focus.
Yeah, my focus is more on, helping them and hearing what they have to say, not just the script that they use.
Yep. Another good thing is to, which I was having a conversation with Kim, but we were having it on the coach page, is to, not Kim, but Anna, emotionally detach from the sale and from the coach, like the coach sign up. If you really, really need that, 5th point, or you really, really are excited about that potential coach and you know that he or she would be amazing at it, and they say no, you can't let that destroy you. Because that's just a seed planted. Every no is a not right now. You know that person's going to come back eventually. So plant the seed, but don't emotionally attach yourself to it. Oh, I'm going to be so disappointed if she says no, or I'll be so disappointed if those points don't go through, or if this sale doesn't go through. You can't be disappointed. The analogy that I gave her was every farmer plants a seed with an intent for it to grow, but they have no emotional attachment to it, because if that one seed doesn't grow, it's okay, because he knows how many other seeds he's planting. So remove that emotional attachment to it, and that will really help. A, the word no won't affect you as much, and B, you can move on to the next one, and that's okay. But if you move on to the next one with that disappointment and hurt in you, then you can't fully give, that optimistic, push on to the next one. Does that make sense? Well, back to coaching, coaching ops. And then personally sending a message. If I'm going to personally invite somebody to a coaching opportunity, it has to be personal. It can't be a mass, message that you send out, which I never recommend mass messages. But why do you want that person to be a coach? Tell them why you think that they would be absolutely amazing at this. I can't help but to see what you post on Facebook. What I do in this business is, share the opportunity that I have, and I can't help but to wonder if you would feel the same way about this that I do, and list off their attributes. You have amazing recipes, or I see that you work out all the time, or you're super motivational, or, I saw the post that you made about hating to leave your kids and go to work every day, or you don't like your job, or you wished you made more money. Tell them exactly what it is about them and why you chose them, and then, share the opportunity about it. I've gotten more response back when I do that than, hey, I've got a 5-day sneak peek about coaching coming up, or whatever, just that general, hey, are you interested? Tell them why it could benefit them and how it could change them, because that's what it's all about. It's all about change for them. It's not you signing a new coach to hit diamond, ruby, emerald, whatever. It's you changing their lives. So show them and tell them why it would change their life. Anybody want to piggyback off any of that?
And honestly, all of my coaches, they have either been referred to me from a customer of mine, or they have been a previous challenger. I've never approached anyone, like Courtney was saying, and just said, hey, become a coach. They're always either a friend I know, or they have some sort of something to do with Beachbody and what we do. So I know at first it's hard, it's slow to grow your team because you don't have anyone, like you don't know anyone. But that's why challenge groups are so important, because that's where your coaches come from. And I know you guys hear this all the time, but it's 100% true. Challenge groups will grow your business.
A lot of my challenge group invites turn into those people saying they want to be coaches. Or it might be somebody who's like, oh, I can't afford it. And then I let them know about the discount. But I had one who she just had a baby, so she's not going to sign up until next month. But she said she's like, I want to be a coach. So I have to figure out that Asana or something so I can, because I have on my spreadsheet, like check back in April. Well, if I don't remember to scan down like my huge list of everybody I've invited, I have to figure out a better system. Or did you like that Asana thing, Danielle?
Yeah, I'm really starting to like it. I've only been adding like my new contacts in it, but it's good because like whenever you put in like if I have to follow up with someone on a certain date and time, I put that in there, and then I can sort through by date through my to-do list. So I think it's going to become really helpful whenever Monday rolls around. I'm like, oh crap, I need to follow up with this and this person, and it's going to be right there in front of me.
So what is this? What's Asana?
Who talked about it? Kendra Fletcher on the call Monday night. It's basically a program that you can use to get organized.
Okay.
She did like an hour call on it, but there's a video you watch, and you can like put all your new contacts in, and you can like highlight them so you know like their color sorted and everything.
Nice.
So
I guess I should have listened to Monday night's call, huh?
there's a recording.
There is a recording. Well, cool. I'll have to check that out.
Is it an app? Is it an app?
No, it's a website. They do have an app, I guess, for your iPhone. I haven't checked that out yet, but it's just asana.com.
Okay. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
So, does anybody have a coach opportunity post or message that you've sent that have people have just really responded to? Something that can be shared in the group or create a file or a doc in the files. I have all of my coaching opportunity messages that I send in there. But yeah, anything that you guys have that's helpful or, people have responded to, just post a file, create a doc in the file. You don't have to act from permission. Go ahead.
I know with me, it's like I really tend to, if I have a new friend on Facebook or somebody I've never really formed a relationship with, but I know they make a good coach, or at least I see how they relate to the old me, just like what you were saying. And for a year before I even did P90X or got into Beachbody, I was a gym rat. I was drinking all the protein shakes, taking all the pre-workouts. I was the fat meathead, guy. But my initial reach out to some of those people, I may just cut right to the point, hey, I see you've been killing it in the gym or something. I acknowledge what I see them doing that I not only relate to, but admire, because that's an admirable trait. They are hardworking individuals. But this is one that I personally just kind of gravitate toward those people because I've been there, and I'm starting to attract those people too. So, but my initial invite for a lot of those is, hey, I've seen you, you've been killing it in the gym and you're real into your health and fitness. Have you ever considered making that, a profession? And I just kind of leave the curiosity hanging there, because then they want to know more. So I don't ever just say, hey, have you ever thought about being a Beachbody coach? I want them to ask for more information. That's how I kind of do it, because I want them to get interested. I want to kind of draw their curiosity into what it is I'm actually doing. That's a
very good point, Andy. Very good point. When leaving that curiosity and leaving that open-ended message so that they can come back for you or to you for more information is, in my opinion, the only way to do it. Because if you straight up message somebody, you've complimented them, you've said their attributes, you said all the stuff that you admire about them, and why you think they would be great. And have you ever considered becoming a Beachbody coach? What a Beachbody coach is, and then you go into all of that jazz. Like, by the time they're done reading your message, it's like, so just leave it that open-ended. Have you ever considered, like, if they're already a fitness person, have you ever considered taking that and turning it into a business or a profession or a career, or making money off of that? If it's somebody that just fits your niche or your criteria, have you ever considered doing what I do? And then that's like, well, what is it that you actually do? Leaving that openness, that curiosity is good for them to come back with.
And I think that kind of goes back to, that faith-based action instead of that fear-based, kind of like you guys were talking about, because I used to have like 3 or 4 messages going on, and I would really force those messages just because I got to have those points, right? And now it's like I've got so many messages going on. I keep a notebook on the last time we talked and this and that. It's like I'll ask that question. They may respond immediately, and I may not respond back for a day or 2. I will let that sit there and hang, because I don't want them to even consider thinking that I've got to have them on my team. I want them curiosity, growing, wanting to know more. I mean, some messages move a little quicker than that, but when you schedule your follow-up, that's sticking to your time, like we talk about. And even if, I think it's, for me, it's like, I'm right now, I'm sitting at big old goose egg on Success Club points, but I've got like 30 messages, half of them are coach invites, and they're going through my own personal sneak peek right now. So it's like, I've got full faith I'm going to get it. I always do. So it's just one of those things. I just keep sowing those seeds, like Courtney said, into newer conversations. As soon as I get one message in, I'll start a new conversation with somebody else. So I think that's really, really important.
My little's coming. So is there any like direct questions, or what were some of the questions that were posted in that brought this up? Are there specific things that we can tackle? Go ahead.
I'm just going to tell you guys my experience with inviting. My first year, last year, was pretty easy for me. I was still in my warm market, never really had to do any personal inviting. Every time I posted on my Facebook, people would come to me, and it was just easy. And then I got to this year, and I'm like, all right, no one's coming to me. What am I going to do? So I had to step out of my market, or out of my comfort zone, and I had to start inviting. And I don't know, it's probably been a month or a little over now, but I sit down every day and I invite 10 people every single day. I hate doing it. I wish I didn't have to do it, but I have to. Otherwise, I'm not going to get anywhere. So what I've done is I printed off my Facebook friends list, and it's in alphabetical order. I have 40 pages. I'm on page 15. And I am seriously going through every single person on my list. If they're a Beachbody coach, I just mark them off. I check out their page first to make sure that, like I even want to invite them. And then I invite them, and I do 10 people every day. I do it during my power hour, the first thing, because it's what I hate doing, but I know I have to do it. And it's been working. Like every single person I've talked to has not been rude, because it's really a generic message I'm sending. But they're all like, oh, thank you so much for, thinking of me. I really appreciate it. A lot of people are wanting more info. And so I'm just saying, if you guys aren't inviting, you have to do it. You have to, because even if they say no, you're planting that seed. So in a month from now, when they're ready, they're going to come back to you.
Hey, Danielle.
Yeah.
What's your generic message kind of look like?
I think it's an inspired belief. But if it's, I'll look, and if it's not, I'll post it in there. It's kind of long though.
Cool.
But I'll post it in there, and it actually came from Kelsey, and I just kind of changed it up a little bit. So she's like the genius behind all of it.
Nice.
But it's been working for her. It's worked for me, and I know a few other people that are doing it, and it's really working for them.
I'll just say too, I know when I did my DFG call, like my call was based on, because that's what I did when I first started. I did personal messages constantly. I would post on my public page, but I would definitely send out 15 to 20 messages a day when I first started out. But I'll be honest, I don't know, it's kind of crazy because the last 3 have been my successful months, and I have not sent a single message out. They came to me. And really and truthfully, if you're being consistent in your post and they know that you're a Beachbody coach and all that, then they'll come to you too. But it's a hard situation because like I get, I'm worried. I'm like, do I send out messages or do I don't? Because like I said, for the last 3 months, it's worked for me and I haven't sent out a single message. But see, this month I'm like, oh, should I send out private messages? So I'm kind of like, I don't know which way to go or what to do.
See, and like last year, Courtney introduced like the whole creating the invite thing, like the mass invite. And I did that for 3 months, and it works really well for me. Like that's where every single customer of mine came from. And then it just like stopped, like no one was responding. So I'm like, oh crap, I got to do something else. So that's.
Are you talking about the, like how she does her challenge group invite, the massive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, no, I've continued to do that. I still do that, but I just haven't reached out through personal message like you said. I haven't in the last 3 months. But like I said, I don't know which way to go because I know that reaching out to them like that, it works because I proved it in the beginning. But then the last 3 months, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to kind of see, and they came to me. I didn't have to reach out to anybody. It's like the first month hit and people were messaging me and I got my points, in the first month. And I'm like, wow. But I know it could possibly not always be like that.
The good thing about messaging is even if like, say like you're good, like you don't need any Success Club points this month. But when you're inviting and they say no, well, then next month they're going to come back to you and bam, there you go. That's the only thing. Because I'm not saying when I invite, like that person buys the next day because they don't. It's always the next month. And that's like everyone that has committed this month is all from last month.
Right. And I agree with that because I've had the same situation. I may have talked to them, 2 months in advance and then they didn't buy till 2 months later. So I do understand that.
And like a lot of my people that I've messaged, they're like, oh, I've been meaning to ask you about this stuff. Like, what is it? So I'm like, okay, sweet. This is going to be easy. So it's just an option. There's so many ways and you just kind of have to figure out what works for you. Like inviting might not work for you. So don't do it. Doing the mass invite might work for you. Try, like you don't know until you try it and until you don't know what your market is like, until you try all these different things and see what responds best.
Or an event. that's all really good information. You guys are like spot on. You're really forming everybody this month for the next month or two, or I've had people come back to me a year later after I've invited them and informed them and talked to them. So yeah, that constant invites, that's the most pivotal thing to do in your business.
Hey, can I add something to this?
Yeah.
I'm reading that Simon Sinek, Start With Why, and he really talks a lot about the most successful businesses really communicating with their customers their why. And he says over and over again in the first few chapters that customers buy your why, not your what. In other words, they're going to buy into, and you're going to develop a following based on why you're doing what you're doing, and not necessarily what it is you're selling. And so I think when you're making those private contacts like that, it communicates again to them, hey, I'm not here just to make a quick, buck off of you. I'm here because I care about you, your health, and whether or not you're ready now or you're going to be ready later on, I'm here. And I think that's a really cool way to say you are more important than your cash.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're selling them the destination, not the plane. Kind of like you're saying, that's I got a video where I really talk about how I invite when I'm inviting somebody, and I really go through this same process almost every time. Before I tell them what it is that they're, even if they contact me and want to know how much is 21 Day Fix, I'll ask them their goals, why. If they quit talking to me, fine. Until I get that stuff, I don't give them a price. I don't give them any information until I have something that I know that is actually going to help them, because it may not be, they may be interested in 21 Day Fix, but that may not be the best product for that person. They may need to start out with a 3-day refresh or something, so I don't know. I think you're absolutely spot on, Billy, with that. Yeah.
And I do just want to make another point, like someone says no to you, or if they bought it off of eBay or Amazon or whatever, like let them in your group. Still help them, because it's not about making that 10 or 15 or whatever dollars you would make on that sale. It's about helping that person. And I will tell you, so many of my coaches and even my current customers have came to me ordering from Amazon or eBay or Craigslist or whatever. And I didn't benefit from them when they came to me needing help, but I still help them. And now, like, they're growing my business, so just help them. Who cares? Just help them. And I promise you, it will come back and it will benefit you in some way or another.
What about I'm sorry, was you finished?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. What about if you invited someone and she's using True Vision or something like that, and I invited her, and she's like, oh, I would love to do something like that. I said, so do you mean that the product that you're buying doesn't give you a coach or puts you in some kind of group to help you? And she's like, no, they don't do anything like that. And I started telling her about Shakeology and all this other stuff, and how they give you a free coach, and also you have accountability group. And she wants to be in my group. So, would you add her?
So is she doing her own thing outside of Beachbody?
It's like True Vision. I've never heard of it. I mean, I've heard of it through just posts and stuff, but I don't know anything about it. All I know is how much did you pay for it? And it's $25 a week.
Wow.
But she said that, she may switch over. So, I think, wouldn't it be worth the risk to see? She told me, she's like, I wish you would have contacted me a few days earlier.
When I first started out, I let every single person in my group, I didn't care what they were doing. Just as long as they were doing something, they were in. Now I don't do that. They have to use some sort of Beachbody program. But as a new coach, a newer coach, I would say, let her in and let her see the results that other people get from Beachbody programs. Because I guarantee you she's probably not getting them if she's not sticking to a consistent program.
So is this True Vision, is it a fitness thing or is it just a drink?
I have no clue. I didn't get into a lot of details with her about that.
It's a supplement.
Is that what it is?
I don't know if it's a shake or what, but I've had 2 people that I've talked to in the past that obviously became representatives or whatever they are. I haven't done enough to really check out what it is either. I've just seen posts, like you said, but I know it's supplement, but there's no program or workout or anything to it.
So Susanna, what I would do in that case is get her connected with a fitness program, put her in your group, and then let her see the benefit of you as a coach and the Beachbody fitness program. And Shakeology may have to just come down the line, but if she sees results from all the Beachbody stuff, then she more than likely will transition from whatever she's doing to Shakeology. And if she's paying $25 a week for it, Shakeology is much cheaper.
Yeah, definitely. And like I'm like Stephanie, I'm inviting like 15 to 20 people a day. And then my phone will start ding, 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 and I'm thinking, oh, dear God, so I get to look, and I'm like, okay, now who is this? And so I have to go back. But I am getting some. One was like very rude no, and that was it was like no. I was like, okay, excuse me. So I just said, okay, sorry,
She'll come back.
When somebody tells me no, even if it's no, I'm not interested, I say, well, if you have any friends, or I word it different than that, but basically I say, if you know anybody that's interested, I would love to help them out. Not making it sound like I want to make a buck off of them or anything like that, but letting them know that I'm here to help people, and that might, if they think like you're just messaging people like It Works does to make a quick buck, they'll get a different feel from you by saying, well, if you know anybody I could help, send them my way, or not send them my way because that sounds bad, but whatever, just however you want to word it.
Yeah, I do recommend for newer coaches, I do recommend getting your foot in the door by running free open groups of some sort to show, your value as a coach and the value of Beachbody programs. Because even if they aren't ready to commit to all of it right off, if you can just show the value of it, they'll come back and commit later. If you're able to, if you have people knocking on the door ready to start with a challenge pack, then great, go with it, run with it. But if you find that you're having an issue starting your group with challenge packs or whatever, then it may be a little slower for you. Your market may not be ready, and definitely show your value as a coach with free groups, and then go from there. But I want to add on to that, consistency in your Facebook, I cannot say that enough, is a huge factor in that. You are able to show your value as a coach in these products through your own journey and your own Facebook. So share as much as you possibly can, show your value through your Facebook. Were there any other pressing things that we wanted to tackle about coaching opportunity? I think we've covered all of the things that were listed off: messages, Facebook posts, all that. Am I missing anything?
No, I just want to say I love each and every one of you guys. I learn something from you guys every time we get on here, so I love it. You guys are awesome.
You said on a couple of the to make a Shakeology post, which I still haven't done, but like every time I've tried to type it out, I feel like it's too salesy. Like even though I feel like I'm trying to make it like a conversation with like, this is why, kind of what I tell people, my local friends when I'm talking to them about Shakeology. That's what I tried to post, but I still feel like it's salesy. Do you have one that you've made that, like, I don't want to copy it, but just an idea or?
I talk a lot about how I thought Shakeology was a stupid name in the beginning, how I told Lindsay that, you know, it tasted okay, but it was not something that I would see myself drinking every day. You know, I throw out all of those objections that I had, you know, and to let people know that I wasn't gung-ho about it in the beginning either. So I make those posts quite often. I talk about how now that I'm drinking Shakeology, I'm no longer iron deficient. I'm no longer calcium deficient. You know, I've cut out sodas, cigarettes, you know, all of that stuff. I'm off of my CPAP and I'm off of my sleep medicine. You know, I list those things out. Like I made a post on my like page the other day that said, when I said yes to Shakeology, I said goodbye too, and I listed out all of the things that have changed since I've drinking Shakeology. 40 pounds, size 12 jeans.
That's a great post.
Did you see it?
No, but I like that concept. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, and use it. Do that. Since I started drinking, since I said yes to Shakeology, stop it. I say goodbye too, and I listed all, you know, I just listed the things out and left it at that, and it was just a picture of me, you know, drinking my Shakeology. So, I mean, if you have, like Chelsea's post about her hair being longer, that killed. People came out of the woodwork.
Yeah, I was going to say anything that Shakeology does for you besides just weight loss and just being healthy, anything that it does for you, share it, because I got tons of feedback from that. And it was just a picture of my hair with like a Shakeology, and I just said something about my hair being longer, and it was like, hey. I was like, okay, like, cool.
So, Erin, answer me this. Why do you drink Shakeology? What has Shakeology done for you?
It's like curbed my cravings. I always tell people, I'm like, TMI, but it makes you regular. And seriously, like my chocolate cravings, if I'm craving, we have our little grocery store here in town. I live in a town of 4,000 people, and our little grocery store here, they have the produce section with all their awesome produce, and then, of course, the bakery. And you have to walk through the bakery to get to the deli. And they have like all this good stuff, and I don't even crave it anymore. The kids are like, oh, let's get Texas sheet cake. And I'm like, nope. And, you know, so it's curbed my cravings a lot, and it's kept me, and I don't know how to word this, but the cost of it has kept me on my meal plan, because I'm not going to cheat on my meal plan because I feel like drinking my Shakeology would be pointless in the morning. So I don't know how to word that, but.
We'll work on that. But I like that. That's a good post, you know, and that way you can combat the price of it as well.
Well, and you say CPAP, and I'm sitting here next to my husband's CPAP machine, so maybe I should go throw some Shakeology at him. So,
which a lot of it had to do with clean eating and exercise as well, but
yeah,
that all came hand in hand.
Well, and that's what I might say too, is some of the stuff that's a result of clean eating, you know, because it's a combination of the clean eating and Shakeology. So
I don't know how you feel about selfies in public, but that may hit home with a lot of people too, because you have to walk from the produce section through the bakery to get to the deli. I mean, you can be like, you know, walking past with your cup and like blinders or something. Like, yeah, this used to be the hardest part of my grocery shopping, not anymore. You know, this may seem like a sales ad, but this is my real life.
Yeah, I could for sure. The grocery store already thinks I'm crazy with 4 kids, so.
Anybody else make a Shakeology post that you know, listed off the goodness and people responded well?
Yeah, I did one a while back. It said, why do I drink Shakeology every day or something? I just listed off because I like pizza. I like this. I like this. I like this. It's like my health insurance, really. It's the one thing I know that I can do every day that's going to benefit me because I know what a bad person I am with food. You know, I know what my struggles are, but this is the one thing I can control. I do like it is healthy, and it's not only changed my health, but my entire family's, you know. Is it worth it? Sure. I'd pay 3 times the amount for it.
I like that.
There was a post similar to that a while back. I got real good feedback from.
I like it too. Because I drink Shakeology, I get to eat pizza.
I really like
in a
that.
sense.
Bonnie's had some really good, if you don't follow Bonnie, she has some really like witty and good posts about everything, but I've seen some on Shakeology too.
When you need something a little more than coffee, but not as strong as crack, Shakeology, that one
Perfect.
blew up.
Yeah,
That
she's
one was
had a few
perfect.
more too, but that one was, her like likes and comments on that were insane.
I like when the one that she told her husband to do something. He's like, "What? That face you always make in every photo?" And you know, it's like the surprise look or something. And he's like, "Oh, the same one you make every time you make a photo." I like her.
But I do think that talking about your reservations with Shakeology really touches to the feel, felt, found with other people, because now we see it as a blessing. But did you always see it that way when you were first signing up and they said $129.95 a month? What did you say? Ooh, because it was $119.95 a month when I started, and I even went ooh. You know, that was not something that I was willing to spend out. I didn't want to, but I did, you know. So, you know, talking about those things is not bad. It, you know, it shows people that, you know, you thought the same thing, but now, you know, now you see it. So.
What do y'all do? Like, you know, I was talking to my mom about it, and I was like, I'm gonna be able to put my notice in, and I'm gonna stay at home, and I'm gonna be able to go and do with my kids and this and that, you know, whatever I want to do. And she's like, well, I hope you don't think that's gonna last forever, because you know, at your job, you have your insurance, your 401k, you've got everything, you know, your Christmas club, you name it, and it's security. And so she's like, I hope you don't think that you'll be able to live, you know, with just that. So I was like, yeah, I mean, what do you guys say? But I see it happening. So, I mean, I believe it, and I believe in it.
I mean, there's really not a whole lot you can say. You'll just have to, it's one of those things where you'll just have to show her. It's like, you know, I know that you don't understand it and you don't see the security in it, but I see the big picture, and, you know, I know what I'm getting into, and I just ask for your support, really. You know, you'll just have to trust me that I am making the right decision for my family. Michelle, I feel like you have a better answer.
No,
Not really.
somebody just drop dead with a heart attack and be like, what are you doing? When I'm not on here one night, you guys know what happened.
But I mean, Lindsay came to me talking about she was going to make $1 million with this, you know, Beachbody thing, and there was a shake and these workouts, and, you know, she was going to, you know, do all of this stuff. And me and Augie laughed. Like, when she left, we laughed so hard. We were like, oh my God, she's crazy. Like, what is she doing? And we were like, whatever. Yeah, now, I mean, look at her now. And then, so it was like, okay, I want to do it too, finally. And Augie was like, oh my God. And then it's like, look at me now, you know? So, I mean, it's just, people don't believe what they can't trust and what's not the norm. I mean, the norm is go to college, get a job, work until you're half dead, retire, hope that you have a retirement, and
not live.
And then, right. So, I mean, it's just going to have to be the proof thing. Don't believe me, just watch. So.
I think too many people reach that point in their life where they're doing their quote unquote job, their profession, and then they stop dreaming and believing that there's anything else they can do. And I think that's what's cool about Beachbody and what it offers is kind of a chance at something bigger, you know, and that's what I'm going after. I teach full time. I don't plan on quitting tomorrow, but who knows what the future holds. If I can be home with my wife and 6 kids, and then I'm going for it.
Hey, I'm about to put you on the spot there, Billy Boy. You were a major Shakeology skeptic in the beginning. So I had multiple conversations with Tracy about that. Share some light on that.
Well, I lost 90 pounds without it. And I lost 90 pounds by doing P90X 4 times in 1 year. And I never once touched Shakeology. So my skepticism came from, how am I going to sell this product to people when I know it can be done without it? And so, you know, I became a believer in Shakeology. Cue the cameras. This is commercial time. I became a believer in Shakeology when I wanted to dive into this as a coach, and I knew that I had to give it a chance. So really, I didn't do this the way everybody else did. And now I look at Shakeology as it is a safety net, you know, for me. And also the biggest reason I drink it is because it's just really, really good. I look forward to it all day long. It's, you know, it's like my treat at the end of the day. And tonight I actually had my Shakeology before I worked out, which I don't usually do, right before the call. And I don't know. I mean, I know there's a million health benefits, and there's all those superfoods and those wonderful nutrients. And I know that I feel better and I don't get sick as often. And I know that it's covering me because I eat like a 4th grader, which is the grade I teach. And as healthy as I am now and as much weight as I've lost, I still haven't been able to beat that cookie monster inside. And so, you know, it just took me kind of diving in and taking a risk on something. And I also knew Tracy kind of finally helped me to see that I could stop doing Shakeology at any time. It wasn't a lifelong sentence, you know, and, you know, I don't know, man. I'm at a point now where I don't miss a day of Shakeology. And I also kind of subscribe to the thought that whether you like it or not at the beginning, you know, you acquire a taste for coffee because most people don't like it at first. You acquire a taste for alcohol because most people don't like it at first. And sometimes, you know, not everything that's good for you has to be delicious. Although I do think Shakeology is delicious. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that answers your question.
Okay, did everybody else hear the golden post fall out of his mouth just then? Like, oh my God, I wish I was typing while you were talking.
I know.
I think he needs to make a video of that and like put it on YouTube, not like on his Facebook, but like on YouTube.
Right? It's like, I just drink it because it's good. You know, I'll list out all of the, you know, I don't know all of those things, and you listed out all of the things that you didn't know that didn't need a whole lot of detail. I just drink it because it's good. Like, that was so much gold right there. Good thing we recorded this call.
Yeah, exactly.
Get it. Yes. Perfect. See, and that didn't sound salesy at all. So if he were to type that up, that genuine conversation he just had with us, and put that out there, that doesn't sound salesy at all to me. So just share your truth. That's the only way to not be salesy, if you're just sharing your truth.
You know, I had the same kind of skepticism when Danielle started drinking it. When we got P90X, she started drinking it. I had nothing to do with it. I said it's a fancy protein powder in a shiny bag. Is all that is. But once I started drinking it, I mean, I was kind of like Billy. I'd lost weight without it. Lost about 30 pounds over the course of the year, working out 4 to 5 days a week, an hour and a half at the Y every, 4 or 5 days a week. And as soon as I hit P90X with Shakeology, I lost the same amount in 60 days. I didn't even get to the 90 days, and I was in the best shape of my life. So I know those two together were like So, I mean, I was hooked from then on, you know.
And
I think everybody starting out is going to be a skeptic with it. I mean, for the most part.
Shoot, yeah, it's $130 of something that you've lived your whole life without, and now all of a sudden you need.
Yeah, it's like an inside. It's like an inside joke. You don't get it till you had it.
Right.
You know.
And once you do it, it's like, how much is it? I will pay my firstborn.
I mean, my husband, it took him a full year to start drinking it. Like, when I first started, I had to beg him so I could make him a shake. And now, like, he'll come home after he gets done working out and he'll make himself a shake. And it took an entire year, but he drinks it every day now.
Mine too. He has his own supply coming in. And that was on his own accord. He came in to make a shake and he said, "Where's the chocolate?" I was like, "Well, it's all gone. I had to get a different kind this month." He goes, "Well, if I'm going to keep drinking this crap, I'm going to need my own chocolate." I said, "Welcome to the team, Coach Augie." Sign you up with a couch pack, baby.
You need to make a post out of that too.
I think I did a long time ago, but I need to do it again because that was his exact words. If I'm going to keep drinking this crap, I need my own supply. Okay. And now he just shakes his in the morning. He went from blending it with peanut butter and honey every day to now just shakes it and walks out the door. I'm like,
that's hardcore. That's hardcore.
Right? I mean, I've been shaking mine forever, but for
that's nothing. I just get a spoon and dip it into the bag and eat it straight up.
That would be a post.
I had a question when you said supply. I have a coach that it shows that her order ships like the 2nd as what it shows on my end. Hers shows it shipped on the 8th, but she can't find tracking anywhere. I can't find tracking anywhere. I don't know. She's a teacher, so I don't know that she's actually had time to chat with them. But is there anywhere for us to find tracking of our coaches' orders is my question.
Angel's shaking her head no.
And have her call because I had that happen in November and it never showed up. And I never even realized that because we had so much going on that I didn't notice until my December shipment came out. And I was like, why am I running out of Shakeology? Because I had an extra month. But I was like, why am I like through this bag already? What's going on here? I should have another bag somewhere. And it had just never shipped. It was marked, and I was charged for it, but it never came.
Yeah, I'll check with her again and see.
All right, what time is it? I don't have a time.
Almost 10. Well, you guys are Central Time. Almost 9 for you.
8:57.
I say all the time. It's like 8:05. Well, anything else, or are we good for the night?
No, I just want to plug my little book study group.
Oh, yeah.
Join it. He's going to be at the Summit this summer, I think. Simon Sinek. It's a great read.
Thank you.
That's it. It's called Start With Why.
Start with why. Good, I like that.
Start with why, how great leaders inspire everyone to take action. And he's really talking a lot about not looking to build repeat buyers, but rather to accrue a following of people that are just loyal to you because they're inspired by you. And I think that it changes your mindset. He talks a lot about cognitive development and the limbic system, part of the brain, the center part of the brain. It's like the old part of the brain versus the neocortex, and how we think and how we follow and make decisions with our logic versus with the deeper part of the older part of our brain, which is that gut feeling. And how when you speak to that limbic system, that older part of the brain, then you really that's where you build loyal followings.
Wow.
Billy, did you say you're running a study group? You're doing a book study?
Yeah, I made a post a couple days ago that I was going to be posting a daily kind of a question thread in the Inspired Belief group, but there weren't very many takers. I think it was a total of like 0. My feelings weren't hurt, but I'm going to start posting questions whether there are participants or not tomorrow. So
do, because honey, I didn't even see it. I'm totally in.
I'm 4 chapters in, but I'm going to start posting one question or a couple of questions for a chapter a day, and I will start that tomorrow.
I can do that.
It's $7.
Thank you.
$7 on Amazon right now.
Okay, I've already got it. So thank you.
Yeah, I have it too, so I can start I've been reading a different one, but I can start that one or add it in.
Good deal.
I like it. Okay. All right. Well, baby is asleep with poop, so I'm gonna go change him. And I love you guys. I'm super proud of y'all. Always just keep rocking it out, and we shall do this again next week.
Have a good night.
Good night.
See you guys.